Buenos dias, Gunners Collective TV. Back at it, you already know. Like a torta with some bad habits. Bye, bye. Let's get to the intro. This one pisses me off. Welcome back to the channel, and if you haven't already hit that like and subscribe button, make sure you go ahead and do that. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directed in the direction of the dope content that the gun stays kicking. And I appreciate all your support, man. I'm very humbled by it. Let me tell you a person who's even more humble than I am, and that's on the Tira Ahmed, man. A very humble individual. Respects goes out to him for everything that he has done. You know, is the sheriff department trying to take credit? Is mainstream media trying to take credit? Is TMZ trying to take credit for everything and all the hard work that Ahmed has done? You know, hey, guess what? Onda Tira has entered the chat. And I will explain something to you guys right now. That individual deserves all the recognition and respect that he's got coming. And it just boggles my mind, plays with my emotions, that this sheriff could get there on a panel in a press conference while they should be looking for baby Emmanuel, but they take the time out of their day to set up this press conference with flags in the back and podiums and sit there and consistently thank each other for all the hard work and effort that they have put in. Look, I'm not taking anything from law enforcement. We need them as a society to calm things down. They're a preventative measure, most definitely, right? I respect law enforcement and everything that they do, except when they put the fucking cuffs on too tight, right? I respect it, though. I understand they're doing their job. Hey, that's what we hired them for as a tax-paying citizen, right? But what I don't respect is how this sheriff decides to get in front of millions of people that are watching, and instead of showing some gratitude towards Onda Tira, instead of respecting the fact that a man did everything that he could and continues to every day, he wants to get on there and ridicule and make a mockery and make fun of and throw disses and subliminals at him by calling him a keyboard warrior and basically saying he's an obstacle that is in the way. Now, for those of you that have been in law enforcement and understand, or those of you that have been on the other side of law enforcement like myself and understand, this man in some situations, yes, needs to be out of the way, especially when they're doing an investigation, because you don't want to take any evidence that's going to help the prosecution in eliminating these two fucking monsters away from children. I get it. But when someone is out there pressing on the necks, applying pressure, finding out more information than the sheriff's office has or hasn't, you know, you need to respect it. TMZ should have respected him. They should have actually, if they were smart, hired him on as a liaison. They should have said, you know what? You're out here really doing it. You got these connections. You're putting forth the effort. This really means something to you. Hey, is there any way you would like to work side by side or simultaneously with us to help us? You know, instead, no. Everybody wants to take this man's footage. Everybody wants to take this man's stories. Everybody wants to take the hard work that this one man put in and make it their own. And that isn't the biggest slap in the face. The biggest fucking slap in the face is that they even thanked the parents, which weren't parents, right? But they thanked the parents in this press conference for helping in this investigation. First of all, there's a reason why Rebecca and Jake Harrell are charged with false reports to police officers. Obviously, they didn't help you much. They impeded the progress of finding baby Emmanuel. In fact, no matter how many people go and report and visit them and do what they do, they still have not told you fucking babosos where the body's at. Or maybe they have, and you're not releasing that type of information to the public. This is a demand that we're making as the public, and I'm going to say it if Ahmed hasn't said it, because he said it many times, and I'm going to double down and double back and say it. We need to know where baby Emmanuel is at. Enough is enough. If law enforcement knows, if this sheriff knows, instead of congratulating each other on a job well done, guess what? The job is not done until you bring us like Onda Tira said about baby Emmanuel. Until you bring us a body, we're not content. as tax-paying citizens, we're not happy. This is a fucked up situation as it is, and we're disgruntled. We don't got the time to listen to your press conference and you badmouth and throw subliminals at keyboard warriors. And basically, you were pointing and directing your efforts and your anger at on the Tira. We all know. We can see it. We're not stupid. Okay. Last time I heard Stevie Wonder could see, right? I don't know if he can or not, but even he sees this one. You know, the way that law enforcement is working this case is very unusual. Not unusual in the fact that they're not putting everything on social media. I get it. When you're doing a proper investigation, you have to cross your T's and dot your I's. I get that. You know, they don't take to social media, but as content creators, as people who are bringing hood news or on-the-spot news or breaking news, that is our obligation or our job or something we have took upon ourselves to do to bring public awareness, to make the public aware. It's funny, and a lot of these big-time media conglomerates, and of course, the police officers don't like the fact that someone's beating them to the punch. That's what it all comes down to. Ahmed is getting the hate because he's beating people to the punch. You want to know why he's beating you to the punch? Because he's fucking punching. He's jabbing. He's throwing uppercuts. You know, he's out there punching. The only way to get a knockout on this case is to throw a few jabs, slip a few, and throw a few. When you're having press conferences while there's a baby that's missing, you know, dead somewhere, and you're sitting there talking about it, don't talk about it. How do they say? Be about it. Okay. This particular sheriff seemed like he was the real one that was disgruntled with Ahmed. Seemed like that he had a personal agenda to discount anything that Ahmed has said, to basically say, you know, this guy right here is an obstacle and a hindrance rather than a help. I beg to differ. I don't differently beg, but I beg to differ. This man has been a tremendous help, an angel on the shoulder of baby Emmanuel, right? This man has been our go-to when it comes for good, solid, rock solid information surrounding and this case. This man is the push behind this case. Without this one single this man, Ahmed, and is showing real characteristics of a real man. Without him doing what he did, you motherfuckers would still be looking for Ola over there in TJ. Let's be real. Let's be honest. Rebecca and Jake Harrell are monsters of monstrous proportions, right? They have not helped, so I didn't get why this sheriff thanked them. I don't get why he thanks mainstream media, and I appreciate the news that they bring, but I don't see why he would put them over Ahmed when Ahmed has been so instrumental in helping the case, right? But he would thank mainstream media when everything they're repeating is everything that man said. They are actually literally TMZ and other newscasts using his actual footage and videos to put out there to the national news. Give this man his fucking credit, right? Stop stealing his credit and discrediting his stories. Now, is he 100% right on everything? We're human. None of us are. Okay? If everybody was right in a real righteous world, that damn judge would have never let Jake out in the first place to do this to baby Emmanuel, right? If everything was right in this world, Rebecca wouldn't be walking around with black eye on top of black eye. If everything was right in this world, there wouldn't be an abundance of meth smoke coming out of that house. There wouldn't be people trampling on evidence, being able to walk in this house. How were these people allowed to go give tours of the house baby Emmanuel was killed at, allegedly, right? Without law enforcement telling them, oh, hell nah. You're talking about this guy is impeding the process of this investigation. Meanwhile, there's no cops on the scene guarding or shutting or putting a barricade or a lock on this door, and people are allowed to just walk in and give tours of a murder scene during a murder investigation. Oh, yeah, you guys are great. San Bernardino Police Department, Sheriff's Department, and Riverside Sheriff's Department, you guys work very well together. You guys work so well together that the murder rate in San Bernardino County is the largest in the state of California as we speak. So much so that they call San Bernardino San Murderdino. There's more fentanyl overdoses in that county in the Inland Empire than any other county in California. You guys are doing a fantastic job in coordination, working together. The one thing that the public is asking for, two things actually: a conviction, if it merits a conviction on Jake and Rebecca Hart for what they did to their child, our child, not even theirs anymore. Anda Tira went and took that. Anda Tira has been more of a father to baby Emmanuel than Jake has ever been. Okay? The mother, what mother? Any woman who allows her child to be abused or murdered and participates after the fact or even during the fact is not any mother that I've ever heard of. She's a monster. Okay? Mother, monster, the word looks similar, but there's big differences. I know, right? It just kind of hurt my heart. I got a little emotional and at the same time very angry when I seen this sheriff disrespecting Ahmed and at the same time thanking everybody else, even Jake and Rebecca, but never thanked Ahmed. Took so many subliminals at him. Called him a keyboard warrior, called me a keyboard warrior because I participate in doing this type of content. And basically said everything we put out is lies and we're just trying to get views off of it and attention. The fact is, if it wasn't for social media and content creators doing what they're doing with this case right here, you fuckers wouldn't know what to do with yourselves. Because in the beginning, it was an open and shut case of kidnapping. Mr. Ola came, hit her in the back of the head. She got 2 black eyes and a fucked up chin, a smelly pussy, and kept it pushing, right? And what'd you guys do? You ran with that story until Ahmed came onto the scene and said, a bullshit. He called fucking caca on you guys and continued to press and press. And I know there's a lot of people, because I've seen haters in the comments that have said, a lot of the times that he went into these stores, they said investigators had already been there. Well, obviously, that's their job. He took this upon himself, right? But he still doesn't warrant the fucking ridicule and the hatred that he's getting. I see why he got emotional. I see why there was tears in this guy's eyes. This case means a lot to him. Baby Manuel means a lot to him. He's the one that's out there bringing us exclusives. So what? He gets a few things wrong. So do I. I might be wrong about everything, but I'm going to stand on it because it's a child that's involved. And I believe this child, until he is found, I'm going to be relentless in the pursuit of of content, relentless in the pursuit of information that's going to help us finally get some closure here. Now, does that mean we're going to get pure closure? Absolutely not. We're not going to get closure until Jake is in a prison cell forever. His daughter promises not going to get closure nor justice until her father, allegedly, right, or whoever this monster is put behind bars forever. Rebecca thinks she's going to skate away on this one. There's a lot of these lawyers, so-called lawyers, that come online and say, oh, she's got action here, she's got action there. Best believe I have of an understanding that she does have more action than Jake, but her ass doesn't need that. She needs action, all right, but not that type of action. I just want to say to that sheriff who seemed like he had a bigger ego than Wes Watson, he gets on there and he starts thanking everyone and disrespecting social media and disrespecting content creators, Ahmed in particular, and he does not deserve that, man. If anything, Ahmed deserves an apology from the sheriff's department and some type of award, a participation prize at least, because he has participated much more than anyone else has. It's funny that the sheriffs that we never heard about say, in coordination with this law office and this office, we're doing everything that we can. If you guys were doing everything that you could, you would break these motherfuckers in that interrogation room and have them and demand them to tell you what they should. Now, Rebecca's been given a lawyer. Jake's been given a lawyer. Jake had Boogie Nights as his lawyer in the beginning, who actually knows something. So he stepped away from the case because either one, Jake could not afford it, or two, Jake was telling him something that he knew in his career would hinder it, and he got out the way. He went back to the Temu shelf. They returned him, or he returned himself. This sheriff right here made me mad. He pissed me off. To sit there and act like Ahmed hasn't done anything or assisted is foolish, and everyone could see it. You know, that's what happens with big time media and these organizations and these sheriff's offices and whatever, right? They like to take credit. They'll steal other people's credit. You know, like allegedly TMZ is doing with Ahmed. Instead of, respecting him for what he does, they take credit for his videos. Unfortunate, right? Very unfortunate. As far as Ahmed goes, I feel he should still apply pressure, continue with this case. Okay, maybe for legal purposes, not be as involved in the active investigation, but that doesn't mean he can't still go out there and search for this baby. That doesn't mean concerned citizens can't go out there. As long as you're not destroying evidence, as long as you are not going in there in a controlled crime scene and throwing cameras in people's faces and hindering what's going on, the proper investigation. Hey, as people, we're entitled to look and search until a baby is found. People don't seem to realize it. They bump their fucking heads. They're not getting it. There's a baby missing. You don't hold a press conference congratulating and thanking each other on a job well done if the job is not well done. This job is overcooked. It's chewy. It doesn't taste good. It's leaving a fucked up taste in our mouth. Until Emmanuel is brought home and he gets justice, we are just chewing and chewing and chewing, but nothing is going down. We can't stomach it. I appreciate the service that the sheriff's offices are doing, but I don't think the level of disrespect they showed, should have been showed. And I think this cop right here has a very big ego, this sheriff, and he wants to be the man to break this case. And he wants to be the man to say that his officers, his team are the ones that did all the due diligence in the vetting and the investigation. They did that. But quietly as it's kept, one man with cancer in 115-degree weather with a loud voice and a microphone, bedazzled out, had entered the chat. Prior to that man entering to the chat, there was no fucking chat. Okay? Give him his respect. These sheriffs got up there and they laughed and they clowned. And when on the Tira asked his question, they even disrespected him then. He only gets one question. All he was fucking asking was one question. He doesn't need to ask you guys anything because all the information you're telling him, he already knows because he's the one that discovered it. I don't know if you agree with me on this one. You can leave a comment. Let me know how you're rocking or you're riding. I'm going to ride with On the Tira, period, plain and simple, till the wheels fall off, until baby Emmanuel comes home. I've already told you, I'm not even combing the beard until he comes home. Let's get it. Let's do this for Emmanuel. Let's do this for justice for all children, for promise, for our kids, for our own kids, for as concerned parents and concerned citizens in society, right? Don't let these sheriffs or these big news stations distract us from what's really going on and taking credit for what one man has done. Now, there's been plenty of others. I like to throw myself in the mix and saying by continuing this coverage and this footage and this content that I'm doing my part. But to be totally honest with you guys, I can't hold a candle to what Ahmed has done. And especially with what he's going through with his health. For this guy to say you need to take a vacation, worry about your health. You let that grown-ass man worry about what he's need to worry about. And you worry about going out there and finding us that baby. That's what you need to do. That's what you're hired for. That's what you're paid for. That's what we're concerned with. We're not concerned with how many fucking hands you shake on a podium. We're not concerned with how many people did a great job. The job is not over. With that being said, I'm a little emotional because I'm speaking facts here. You could like it or you can dislike it. That's totally up to you. I'm not for impeding the process of an investigation. I get all that. I respect law enforcement. Believe me, I've been on the other side where I've had to get snatched up. Some cops were cool and decent and left the cuffs on loose. Some put them on tight and kicked me when I was down. Do I hold a grudge? No. But it seems like this sheriff was basing what he was saying and what he was thinking just based on Ahmed's physical and the way he looked, the way he sounds, the way he acts. Hey, you know what? If you don't like brown men, just say it. We all got a little bit of swaggy swag to us. What's up, Bessie? Straight up, man. And we're going to keep saying what's up, Bessie, till this baby is found. And even after that, we need you guys to do your job. Instead of disrespecting content creators, social media, you need to understand that social media is undefeated. Social media is now real media. Social media is people that you can actually recognize and understand, speaking in layman terms and doing what we does. Because with that being said, let me know what you guys think. Shout out to Ahmed on the Tira. My total respects go to him. This sheriff seemed like he positioned himself for a lot of ridicule. I'm going to throw him in the same position as that judge. You guys are failing us. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm continue to strive, struggle, and strive for what I truly believe in. And that's the betterment of all people. Make sure you guys go over to my other channel, The Collective Clips. I did a great video today about James Buhausen, the brother of Rebecca, broke down his case, gave you guys some good backstory on it, some good information. Make sure you guys, if you're not, I know I got a lot of new subscribers. If you're not subscribed to my other channel, The Collective Clips, make sure you guys go do that. I do a lot of comedy, a lot of realism. It's all knowledge you can't get in college. And that's the bottom line. Why? Because Gun said so. Leave a comment.